Today, we are not shaming anyone for struggling because struggling is real, obviously. But today, what we're going to do is question society for sometimes treating struggle or suffering like a royal badge, like a noble badge. There's a difference between acknowledging hardship and glorifying suffering. Our topic for today is glorifying suffering. My name is Priye Ogolomo, and welcome to another episode of DURA'S Voice podcast. I'm here with my very beautiful co-host.
Basso Ebere Florence.
So, like I said earlier, our topic is glorifying struggling. So, Ebere, do you think we glorify suffering in this country?
Hmm. Do I think we glorify suffering in this country? Yeah. Yes. And it's of course a big yes. Because the society at large, they sometimes perceive, and not even sometimes, they actually glorify suffering and they acknowledge it. Yeah, they sometimes perceive it and present it to be as a proof of strength,
Yeah.
a proof of maturity, and a proof of worth. And that's why you sometimes hear them say, if it's not pain, if it's not painful or something,
Okay,
if
no pain, no
yes, no pain,
gain.
no gain. And then you hear them say, if it's not hurting, it's totally useless. If it's
Yeah.
not hurting, of course, it's not a success. It's not going to give you a positive feedback. You understand, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And actually see no reason why they should glorify suffering, because it does not mean that if I'm not suffering, then I can't achieve a particular goal or a particular aim. They actually want to see you struggle. They actually want to see you juggle. Early morning you juggle and all of this, and that's why they sometimes support partially, indirectly. Yes, they give thumbs up to toxic jobs,
Yeah.
toxic relationships, and toxic friendships. And then that's when they'll tell you that if if there is no pain, then you can't get to where you are going to. You understand? They sometimes acknowledge and applaud people who endure pain. Yes, forgetting that everything doesn't have to fall back to suffering or having pain or enduring it for you to make it in life. No, I believe that even without suffering, you can get to
Of course, definitely.
without suffering, you can get to where you want to get to. And then most times they would tell you, okay, when I was in my last office, there was this friend of mine. I was actually relating to him. I was telling him, I see what my supervisor does, see what is going on, this, that, and then he kept on. So I acknowledge the fact that he was advising me and he was like encouraging me to not give up, stuff like that. But then in some way, I stopped talking to him, reason being that he would always tell me that, oh, that's a supervisor, whatever he says is somehow correct. And then I'm like, why? He says yes, that because one, he's older than me, two, he's higher than me in authority, you understand? Then he's my superior, so I should always listen. And I'll tell him no, because this person, he actually came newly into the system, and then me myself, I've been there before. So there are some things. He's my senior, yes, he's my superior, yes, I'm not disputing the fact, and I will never try to make him feel inferior. But then he also, as a good leader, he's supposed to listen. Yes, that's one of the things that makes him a good leader. He's supposed to listen. And then there are some things I know, and I'm very sure that yes, I can be able to teach him and put him through. But then whenever I try to relate to them, my friend, and then at some point I was like, you know what, I'm not going to talk to you anymore about it. I'm not going to talk to you about this particular thing anymore, because you sometimes make me feel like if I'm not suffering, then I won't get to the level of HOD or the level of a manager in a particular company.
Okay.
And I see no reason for that. So yes, society, they actually glorify suffering, and that's a no-no for me.
Yeah. And looking at, there's something I noticed amongst Nigerian students. Boarding school students, to be precise. There's this thing they do where they like to talk about what they went through in school. I'm not saying don't talk about your experience, but then there's this guy like that on TikTok. Is it Sochi? Can't really remember his name. Kachi? Is it Kachi? Sorry, if you see this video, I'm not getting your name right, but you know you're the one. So there's this guy. He went to a boarding school. I think that one is probably a private university. I say university, private boarding school, yeah. And he was talking about his experience. He's like, oh, he went through a lot in school, but then he was like, at the point he had to keep quiet, because how will he explain to people that in his boarding school they had shower with hot water?
Wow.
And along the line, I think they give them tea in the night just so they don't sleep in empty toilet.
That's actually nice.
Exactly, as it should be. As it should be. And he said when he's having this conversation with people, they're always pointing out the fact that, are you sure you went to a boarding school? You did not even go through. You did not go through anything. Do you know what I went through? That they would make me lie down. I will sleep under the sun. I'll do this. I'll do that. They beat me. They make me break my leg and all of those things. And these things, they are things that they pride in.
Yeah, and then you notice that most persons, they personalize pain and
exactly.
suffering.
Because I know someone that went to a boarding school, and he's saying that his children must go to boarding school as well. And he suffered though. It's not like he enjoyed. And they see it as you going to get the experience. You're going to see life, exactly, learn. I don't know why, but there was a particular time that I even wanted to go to boarding school, because my siblings, I have like 2 siblings that went to boarding schools, and they would always come back telling their story. And they were suffering. I don't know why I wanted to go and see for myself. I think I just like the fact that they would come back and tell us their stories. I'm like, okay, I want to also tell my children my own story. But I think after a while, I started thinking about this thing, like years after. I'm like, why would I want to go and just go and suffer so I can tell the story?
No, hell no.
Makes no sense.
At some point, I was supposed to attend boarding school, but you know this last born vibe, always mommy's handbag.
Oh yeah, the last born.
Yeah. So on my exam day, whenever my mom travels, when I'm going to school, I'm not going to school, I actually travel with her.
Are you serious? Wow.
So, that day she was traveling, and then my mom was like, okay, that my elder sister would take me to the school. And then I've always had this anticipation and curiosity to always go to boarding school. So I was like, go to boarding school to write my exam, travel with mom. I was like thinking about it. You know what I did? Early in the morning, I pretended to be sick.
So I should take you along.
Yes, I pretended to be sick. I was like, which kind of problem with this son? Now, what is it? I was like, Mommy, I'm cold. I can't go to the exam. They finished paying for everything. My dad was angry. My mom was like, it's like, I'll carry my baby along. And I was like, yeah, sure, but you're going to prepare yourself.
How old were you?
I think I was 10 or 11 because that was my Gen 1. My mom was like, you're going to prepare, go and pack your things. In my mind, I was like, yes. I was going sluggish. So I was like, let's say I left that day. I followed my mom. I traveled. I said that's how I did not. And I think that was my J3. I was also supposed to go to boarding school. That one I finished writing the exam. I finished registration and everything. I snapped passport, and I don't even know what happened. I can't really recall what happened, and then I did not go. So growing up, that was my SS2. I started hearing stories, like scary stories, both the ones they'll ask the students, seniors will ask the students, if I count 1 to 10, both the ones they'll ask them your head under your locker or deck, something like that. I started hearing ghost stories in boarding school, Miss Koi, this, that, and in my mind I'm like, God, thank God, like you actually know why I did not go. So then I can't suffer. I cannot come and go and kill myself and die on top.
I feel you. I can't believe I was praying so hard that I get posted to a boarding school, because the way they do it over there in Abuja, when you're done with junior secondary school, they post you to a school. A particular school. So it's left for you to
decide,
switch, or you get transferred to another school. So I was praying so hard that I go to this particular Duse Girls. I don't know what I was looking for. And then my mom is like, you're not going anywhere. And when I was younger, I used to be sick. There's this particular, I used to have constant chest pain. So it was, and they did not know what the issue was. Take me from one hospital to another, and they'll still say they don't know what the issue is. So knowing that I have chest pain, my mom is like, you're not going anywhere.
Trying to kill the woman. Who are you?
I said, I'm going, no. And she's like, you're not going anywhere. And this woman took my hand and started praying with me. I was saying, God forbid that she was praying. But then at the end of the day, they posted me to a day school. I'm like, I was angry at her. But then, now I think about it and I'm like, why was I?
See.
Exactly. And even the school I went through, I think because they beat in the school. And even with my experience from university, sometimes I think about these things. I'm like, my child is not going to anywhere that would stress them. You see this school I just finished from? I said my child is not going there. I'm not going to call the name from. It's a normal Nigerian universities. But I'm like, my child is not going to none of these schools, because why do you want people to suffer for no reason?
Just to
and this is intentional.
They'll become big or famous.
Exactly. And then I even saw a post online about this woman. She was in labor and she was cooking. She said she was cooking. Her caption was, the baby came early. And then she was cooking for her husband and her children before she goes.
Material. Wife material.
My dear, I always say, there are some posts that I see, and I said it in one of the previous episodes. I always say, not interested, because I don't want to claim no negative energy from your videos, because what? The God that did it for you should avoid me, because what? Why are you in labor and cooking for your husband and children? You should be in the hospital.
Loving wife and caring mother.
Can never be me. Sorry. Because at this point, your husband is not a child. If it's about the children, he can always sort it out. Even if he can't cook, buy food.
There are most traditional men that no matter what, even if you're sick, whatever, you must do that responsibility of proud mother, proud wife. You must cook, you must wash,
wife
whether
material.
You're pregnant, wife material, 1,000 yards, no missing, nothing missing. You must cook, you must care for him.
This thing that you haven't seen just reminded me of another one I saw. And my roommates were pissed. That day we were just ranting because what? So this woman, she just gave birth and she went through cesarean section.
Oh.
Do you know that 3 days after, 3 days, 1, 2, 3 days, not weeks, 3 days after, she was in the market selling leaf, ugu leaf. And she was so proud of it. She posted it herself. She's like, see what happened. She just gave birth and she's working hard. You just gave birth through cesarean. My sister gave birth through cesarean, and I understand what she went through. So what do you mean? Yeah.
Okay, it's understandable if she's strong, but then it's not understandable if she's in the market, because at that moment,
strong, exactly.
Yes,
in the market, you're selling.
At that moment, anything can happen. I don't know if most people they consider themselves before taking most decisions.
I don't even understand.
You understand? It's not if she. I don't know if she was trying to please her husband, and then I think the husband was also saying that he's proud of her or something. I'm like, no, this isn't right. Are you sure she's not the breadwinner of the family?
No, she's not. She's not.
She's the one. She's stressing herself.
Well, there's some things I just see and I'm like, God, please don't allow me in Diablo. Please, I need to make money. So, what do you think people lose the most? Or before I go there, what do you think, or where do you think people learned this whole ideology or picked up this whole nature of
suffering?
Exactly, of glorifying suffering.
I think this actually started way back.
Yeah.
Yes, because like I mentioned earlier, you would hear traditionally they will say a woman is supposed to do this, a woman is supposed to do that. In fact, actually think it comes from different ways, different places, different perspectives, and not direction. Even religiously, that's where you hear stuff like obedience is better than sacrifice. Yes, sacrifice this. You have to be patient enough. You have to be. I'm not saying you shouldn't be patient or loving or calm or submissive as a wife or as anybody. Yes, but then and again, if it has to do with your life, if it's life threatening or threatening your life, or you see that it's a very crucial issue or situation, my dear, run for your life first. Run for your life, because those persons telling you that you're supposed to. Okay, let's take for instance the story of this a popular singer. I can't remember her name. So rest in peace. I can't remember this.
Okay, Osinachi.
Yes. Yeah. Her narcissist husband is. If she had spoken up or at least talked to most persons or at least left that situation, I'm not saying she should divorce, but I'm not saying at least separate. Separation should be the first thing that comes to mind. Separate, talk to most persons. There are some persons I believe the husband can listen to, and then if there is nobody he listens to, why not talk to anybody? Talk to police or anything, because it's threatening your life. Or you separate, you go first, go to meet your parents,
or go forever. Don't come back. Because what do you mean you're threatening my life? You're threatening my life, and
seriously,
I'm supposed to be there? No, that's ended though. Because what kind of marriage? There's no love in that. If you are threatening to take my life, no, there are situations where you know that you draw the line.
Why you would stay in a life-threatening marriage. And I know I'm not married, but God, please don't give me that type, please. I beg, because I see no reason why you should stay there and then you're suffering, you're enduring, okay, simply because your fathers or your mothers, they said, during our times we stayed, when our husband stopped, we don't talk, we don't do this, we don't move an inch. I'm not saying you should be disobedient, and I'm not saying you should be stupid because you want to prove a point. Yes, but then there are some things that are not called for. There are some things that are not worth it. Like suffering in marriage is not worth it.
Aside the physical abuse, that you'd see cases where someone is in a marriage and the significant other cheats.
And you chose to stay.
And then let's say it's out in the open. Let me say for women, because this is more, it happens very frequently. Where the husband cheats.
Okay.
And then you're here to say, oh, pray for him.
Okay. That's sorry.
Pray for him.
Sorry, that's understandable.
Even with the husband beating you, you say pray for him.
Do you know that I saw one post on TikTok? This just reminded. I saw one post on TikTok, and then the man was like, "Oh, my wife is cheating. I caught her on the day I was supposed to travel, and then I forgot something, and I came back only for me to see her on bed with a very good friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
Please, guys, tell me what to do. No harsh words, no harsh comments." And
I think I know.
Me personally, I wrote under the comment section, please pray for her. It's because that's when they will actually tell a lady if that's what's happened.
I noticed that this is what happened.
Yes, and then
I like the way this
and then most guys or most men, they will be like, what kind of talk is that? You see ladies replying, she's only but a lady, because that's what they will tell you. He's only but a man. It's in their nature to do this, to cheat, to do this and that, and so why won't you endure, or why won't you pray for her? If she cheated, you should pray for her, because if you're the one that cheated, she will pray for you.
No, my dear.
So
goes both ways. Anyways, I think these are things that we should not even be enduring. Like the fact that people just feel if it goes so far, you're not doing well. Like a particular woman that made a post on TikTok still. She was talking about the fact that she works, she's a working class woman.
Okay.
And she has a maid, she has a cleaner, she has nanny for her children,
and people would criticize her.
Definitely,
I know.
You should check the comments. People are like, "Oh, that you're not wife material.
Imagine
what are you doing in the marriage?" So I'm like, she's obviously working.
So if I work
you
and
want
I
her,
have the means of staying or living a comfortable life, I shouldn't do
Honestly.
that. I should suffer just to prove a point.
I am of the opinion
Like-
that if you have the money, pay for comfort. Don't kill yourself. If you have the money, what is there? Because I think she even had a chef. Let's say she comes home late from work.
And very tired
Very
from
tired.
the whole
So are you
traffic
saying that
juggles and all the
her whole
rest.
family is not going to eat? Her children are not going to
They're
eat?
going to wait for
Everyone
her.
is going to... No. At least pay someone to get it done if you can. Because there's no point in suffering. So, what do you think people lose the most when suffering becomes normal?
A society that normalizes suffering.
Yeah.
I think they lose a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lose a whole lot. Like they lose peace. Yeah, they lose joy. They lose out on self-awareness. They lose out on compassion. Yes, she just stuff like, because I suffered, you must suffer. Yes, I've heard that. Because I suffered during my time. Do you know what I passed through? Do you know what I went through? Because I suffered, because I struggled to get this, then the next person or my subordinate must suffer. And also, there is this prayer I actually pray to God. I always pray to God to give me the spirit of humility. Humility, no matter your financial status, no matter your level or anything. I always pray for God to give me the spirit of humility, because it's not easy till you get there. It's not easy to get. It's not easy to you get that power and authority which always want to have, and then you see that it takes a whole lot of discipline and a whole lot of determination and self-discipline.
Yeah.
Yes, to be able not to incur such pain you pass through to your younger ones or your subordinates. Yes, so people lose a whole lot. They also lose themselves most times, because sometimes they start feeling guilty if they get some certain things through ease or without painlessly. Yes, they start feeling guilty. They start feeling... So most times they don't even feel themselves because of the whole suffering issue, pain. Okay, they start feeling, okay, it's okay to suffer. It's okay to have pain. It's okay to endure the pain. So for that, I'm just going to stick to this particular job, even if I'm being maltreated. And hell no, I can't do that.
Honestly, you see, talking about the whole aspect of people passing down the whole trauma that they went through, I think it also falls in the aspect of lecturers. You see, when it comes to school, Nigerian lecturers.
Yes.
I've heard lecturers say things like, "Oh, I can't give you a full mark because my lecturer did not give me
a full." Yeah.
You will now say, "Okay, A is for 100 is for me, or 100 is for God, 90,
yes, 99 is for me,
and the rest of it."
And then from 90 is for you can.
And there are some lecturers that will never give you an A. I know there is some lecture. I encountered such lecturers.
I actually know of a school that did not give their students first class, second class, simply because all the lecturers in the school, they all came out with...
The whole school?
Yes.
Had you not bothered by the fact
they all came out.
They are not having any excellence?
Check it out. Like, just like an employer or a boss that has second class, and then you now as a first class holder, you're coming to look for a job in my company. What do you expect?
I don't know what kind of
that particular person will feel threatened.
If someone with first class is coming to I will employ you because you did very well in school.
But not in our society where they say we are the leaders of tomorrow, and then they end up with all these being the leaders forever, not giving the young ones the space and time to explore and practice.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I think this is a psychological problem. So I'm being honest. I think that when people get used to this suffering, when they normalize, they forget to... I think they don't recognize when something is wrong.
Exactly.
You see a pattern because it has been there from the onset. You feel it's normal.
Follow it.
Exactly that. Even when you're you're feeling okay. Let's say you've been feeling that okay, this is wrong, but you've not been saying anything. At a point, your body will relax.
Yeah.
You'd feel okay.
You
It's already
feel so
happening.
used to it, and then you feel it's okay.
Exactly. Like what's happening right now in my I think some other persons are experiencing this in my around my house.
Okay.
So I don't know if they've gotten to your side. Well, NEPA, they're fixing prepaid meter.
Yeah, they've done that.
Okay, they've done that.
Yeah.
And when they came, they asked you to pay for wire and all of those things. Are you saying? Because I'm so pained. I had to speak out because let's say, we've been making use of the normal lights.
Yes.
And then you are switching to, bringing prepaid meter. For you to bring the prepaid meter, are you not supposed to know that, that to install these things,
you need certain equipment.
Exactly, you need wire. And you're coming to meet us to buy wire. I'm hearing things like 30,000 naira. So
the one that pains me the most is this one they do this thing. This one they do accumulated NEPA bills, and then you start paying from where the last person, like that shit, it pains me the most.
Honestly, I see this whole thing where I'm like, okay, you have to pay for what? I'm like, doesn't make sense. And then you will still pay for the connection, something that you came to do by yourself. Why are you charging us for this? And then I was complaining. I spoke to the man. I'm like, before you came to do this, they must have made creations. They must have made these things available to you. So why are we paying for this? And then another man was there telling me, and do you know how much I paid? This is what I'm talking about when I say, this is
what you're saying is that I feel your pain.
Honestly, this is what I'm talking about when I say you are normalizing these things. You are glorifying suffering.
Yeah.
If everyone talks about these things, if we speak up about, it's not going to happen. Even if it's a broken society, I already know how things are going. But sometimes, don't just, hey, I'm getting angry. Okay, so let's round up. So, what can you leave a word with our listeners for followers?
Okay. One thing I would like to say is no pain, no gain. I'm not actually in support of that. Yeah, suffering is not a ladder to success.
Yeah.
Yes, suffering is not a ladder to success. So whenever you find a more convenient or most comfortable way of achieving something legally, please, legally, I repeat, legally, not illegally. So whenever you find a more convenient way of achieving something or achieving a goal, please do not feel bad, do not feel guilty. If it comes to you with ease, accept it and move on.
And to add to that, I feel do not lose self-compassion along the way. You understand that things are not hard, are not easy rather in this country, but then do not lose self-compassion, because you hear people say things like, you talk about someone had it worse, so why should I complain?
Yeah.
No, that shouldn't be it, because there's nothing noble about suffering. There's nothing noble about suffering. Please listen, there's nothing noble about suffering. And then there's no problem with wanting something better.
Yes.
So right here, we're not glorifying suffering, we're outliving it. Okay? So thank you so much for staying with us. And I'd like you to like, comment, and subscribe. Even share.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.